Welcome to Liberated Motherhood's Love Letters podcast, where you can get your weekly dose of self-love and sistership. Womanly advice of the selfless woman. Introducing the girlfriend you call when all hell breaks loose and you need help just to keep your sanity. The one and only Ty Johnson Anderson.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Liberated Motherhood's Love Letters podcast/vlog. Today we're going to be talking about marriage counseling, failures, and rebirths, something I'm all too familiar with throughout my whole life. I've struggled back and forth with filming this one particular vlog for the simple fact that tomorrow marks my first day of marriage counseling. So, as I stated before, I told you that I'm not perfect. What I'm teaching, I'm in the trenches there with you, going through the same exact things. So, really, I'm just wanting to join you on your journey to a better you, to a better marriage or a better life, whatever that may be holistically. And when the subject of marriage counseling first came up, on one hand, I'm happy because that shows commitment and dedication to what we have in our particular family situation. And on the other hand, it was like a punch in the gut for the simple fact that at the core, I know I had to do a certain number of things. One, I had to admit that I'm not perfect. Enough said about that. Number two would be admitting that you failed in some capacity to where someone had to step in. And I don't do failure really well. So that's really hard for me to admit that I'm not capable of doing something on my own. Number three is admitting that my husband's not as happy as I want him to be. And that was a huge blow for the simple fact that you think that you're giving it your all, but you have all these other things sprinkled into life, and sometimes what we think is our all, your significant other, is on the tail end of that, and so there comes some tension. And so I've given deep thoughts to those things that inhibit my growth, and everything adds up to one thing and one thing only: ego. At a sense, I had to get over my own ego. I had to own it. I had to be a woman about it, own it wholeheartedly. In my mind, I'm thinking, what will my mom think? What will his mom think? What will his commander think? But all of our worries come out of a few simple things: shame, ego, and a reluctance to own your own situation. And to get past any struggle in your life, your marriage, whatsoever, there are a couple of things that you have to take care of along the progression in order to get past that roadblock. First of all, you have to understand that taking an alternative recourse is not the same as giving up or failure. And I had to get that through my head as well. Just because it didn't go as planned and we have to bring someone in to help us along the way doesn't mean that we failed. Two is that your ego can be the death of you. So you really got to stand up and own your part in every situation that you're doing. So whenever something comes up, you need to sit back and really look at how much of it that you played a part in. And number three is, and I've had to learn this along the way as well, love does not mean not having to say you're sorry. In all actuality, they really like to hear the I'm sorry part with all your mistakes. If you let things just blow over, they remember, because it's like you really didn't care enough to stand there and own it and say that you're sorry. Number 4 is, which is a big one, others' opinions don't matter. Opinions, of course, are like assholes. Everybody has one, and they're often shitty. So I had to get past I don't care what his mom thinks, I don't care what my mom thinks, I don't care what his commander thinks, I don't care what his friends think, because it's him and I and our marriage. And for a military marriage to succeed takes a lot of work, and sometimes that means bringing someone in to help with the post-deployment situation. Number 5, big one, is getting help is not the same as admitting defeat. It's quite the opposite. To get help, to bring in a coach along the way means that you don't have it all together, but you're willing to do the work. And as long as that commitment and that dedication is there, with anything that you do, not just your marriage, but with anything that you do, bringing someone in to help means that you're that much closer to the goal line. So there you have it. 5 things you can do before your rebirth. There are 5 things to consider. Because I'm on a mission of 2013 being my rebirth, my revitalization in life, business, marriage, and motherhood, especially motherhood. I'm trying to do things a little bit different this year, and I'm trying to go full court press, and I want you to be with me. Go right on over to my blog, liberatedmotherhood.com. It'll be down there. And sign up for one of my free trainings. Literally, I will be in the trenches with you. So this year I have a lot of good things planned, and that includes weight loss, tips with motherhood, tips on getting in shape, and tips on really just self-care. Because as a mom, wife, business, everything else, we tend to not take care of ourselves and put the needs of others before the needs of ourselves. So I'm here to give you self-love for the selfless women. If you like, subscribe, and head on over to the blog. There'll be more goodies waiting for you. Bye.